It's really interesting. A lot of them are just not looking at him at all, even though he's standing and spraying. That's really interesting.
Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively have always been Hollywood's golden couple, or so we thought. But lately, whispers have turned into full-blown accusations, and it's not the flattering kind of attention they're used to. For years, they've charmed the world with their playful banter, dazzling red carpet appearances, and picture-perfect love story. Fans ate it up, believing they were the ultimate dream team.
There are some people who feel like he is the one who's driving all of this and telling Blake. I don't think that seems very unfair to Blake Lively.
That's
to me,
pretty diabolical.
But behind the smiles and witty social media posts, some people are saying there's a much darker side to their Hollywood reign. Now, multiple insiders and fellow celebrities are speaking out, claiming that Ryan and Blake may have pulled some seriously shady moves to maintain their squeaky clean image. Allegations are swirling that they've used underhanded tactics, possibly even deception, to stay on top. And the truth might finally be catching up with them. Some sources are even suggesting that they manipulated situations and people to control their narrative.
Reynolds, this is his thing. He's a Taylor Swift of the movie industry. When he gets upset with somebody, he puts them into a script.
Could this be the beginning of their carefully crafted empire crumbling? Things really started unraveling when Blake Lively dropped a bombshell accusation against her It Ends With Us co-star and director, Justin Baldoni. She publicly claimed that Justin harassed her on set, and of course the internet exploded. At first, people rushed to support Blake. After all, she's been seen as America's sweetheart for years. But then Justin Baldoni hit back hard. He didn't just deny the allegations, he filed a massive $400 million lawsuit against both Blake and Ryan. That's not pocket change, that's a legal war zone.
Justin Baldoni war with Blake Lively, which seems to me, initially I felt quite sorry for Blake Lively, then I've been reading all the messages, and it just seems like a pair of absolute weapons-grade narcissists.
In the lawsuit, Justin accused the power couple of defamation, manipulation, and even trying to take control of the entire film project. And here's where it gets even messier. Once Justin spoke out, more industry insiders started coming forward with their own stories. Suddenly, murmurs turned into loud accusations, with some claiming that Blake and Ryan have a history of using their star power to twist situations in their favor. There's even talk that they might orchestrate drama to play the victim and keep public sympathy on their side. Is this a classic Hollywood power play gone too far? Or is the perfect Reynolds Lively image finally starting to crack under pressure?
We had a really weird moment on Deadpool where he said, let's do one more take. And everyone was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then as the character, he was like horrifically mean.
Fans have always seen Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively as Hollywood's ultimate power couple. Fun, lovable, and totally drama-free. Their playful social media banter and picture-perfect romance made them seem untouchable. But now, with these shocking claims surfacing, people are wondering, was it all just a carefully crafted illusion? If these accusations hold any weight, it could mean Ryan and Blake have been pulling strings behind the scenes for years, cutting people out, making backdoor deals, and controlling the narrative to stay on top.
All through the text messages, you'll see over and over and over again him saying, I don't want to hurt her. I want to protect her. Let's give her what she wants.
Some industry insiders are saying they never bought into the sweetest couple ever act, while others are absolutely stunned by the allegations. Hollywood is buzzing with whispers that Ryan and Blake might have a pattern of manipulation that's finally catching up with them. And with Justin Baldoni, along with other celebrities, now speaking out, this whole situation verge of exploding. Is this the beginning of the end for Hollywood's golden duo?
Direct knowledge tell TMZ, lots of the stars who attended the events on Sunday were confused as to why Blake and Ryan appeared on the show while they battled it out in court surrounding the movie It Ends With Us.
Blake Lively's accusations against Justin Baldoni were explosive, but now people in the industry are questioning if there's more to the story. Was this a genuine claim or a calculated move? Some insiders have pointed out that the timing felt suspicious, sparking speculation that Blake might have had another motive for making these allegations.
So the story goes, essentially, he says she didn't even read the book before signing on to the project. Then she read the book and kind of became consumed with it and wanted to basically introduce her own lines and wanted to become a part of the project and rework.
Then came the legal bombshell. Justin Baldoni didn't just deny the claims, he fired back with a massive lawsuit against Blake and Ryan, making it clear he's ready to battle this out in court. He's accusing them of trying to destroy his reputation, take control of his film, and manipulate the public into seeing them as the victims. And the stakes couldn't be higher. Now, the whispers in Hollywood are turning into open discussions. Usually, celebrities stay quiet to avoid legal drama or ruining industry relationships. But this time, some are subtly throwing their support behind Justin, hinting that they've personally witnessed Blake and Ryan behaving in ways that don't match their carefully polished public image.
I defend Justin Baldoni in this lawsuit with Blake Lively because I think she's horrible and she's made up this whole thing because she tried to steal his movie. But he is the most overly feminized man I've had to endure in recent...
The cracks in their perfect facade are getting harder to ignore. And with more stars starting to speak up, this scandal is only getting bigger. Now, fans are starting to ask, do Ryan and Blake thrive on drama when it benefits them? For years, whispers have followed Ryan Reynolds, hinting that his funny man, nice guy image might be just that. An image! One of the first red flags? A run-in with the Jersey Shore cast that left them raising eyebrows. They hinted that Ryan wasn't as friendly as he seems on social media, and that his real personality might be way more abrasive when the cameras aren't rolling.
Who? Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, not great to us.
Oh, it was Ryan.
If it were just one awkward encounter, people might brush it off. But more stories keep surfacing, painting a picture of someone who's not always the charming jokester fans adore. Then there's actress Rebecca Ferguson, who openly shared that she was mistreated by a co-star on set. She didn't name names, but Hollywood insiders have been speculating nonstop. Could Ryan be the mystery actor she was talking about? With more of these stories coming out, people are starting to wonder, how much of Ryan's nice guy reputation is real, and how much of it is just clever PR?
I did a film with an absolute idiot of a co-star. And this human being was being so insecure and angry because this person couldn't get the scenes out. And I think I was so vulnerable and comfortable that I got squeaked.
Fans started playing detective, and one name kept coming up, Ryan Reynolds. There's no hard proof that he was the co-star Rebecca Ferguson was referring to, but people were quick to rule out Tom Cruise and Hugh Jackman. That left them wondering, could Ryan be the one she was hinting at? And that's not the only relationship of his that seems to have mysteriously soured. He used to be tight with Jake Gyllenhaal, but now, crickets.
We have an ongoing feud with Ryan. You know that guy. What's it gonna take for him to actually be BFFs with you?
Well, I mean, in truth, there was a time in which we were.
The two actors who once had a playful bromance barely acknowledge each other anymore. No one has come forward with the details, but gossip sites suggest that Ryan might have crossed a serious line with Jake, one that ended their friendship for good. Then there's Morena Baccarin, Ryan's leading lady in the first Deadpool movie. In the sequel, her role was drastically reduced, and when the film was being promoted, she was nowhere to be seen. No red carpets, no major press events. Just gone.
Somebody else who is very connected to this reached out and said, Candace, you're 90% there. You're just missing one thing. And I'm beginning to wonder, and listen, full speculation, no proof, for him to go that crazy.
Hollywood insiders believe Ryan had something to do with it, allegedly pushing her aside after a disagreement to make sure everyone knew who was in charge. If the rumors are true, it paints a very different picture of Ryan Reynolds, one where he's not just the lovable, joke-cracking star, but someone who controls the narrative behind the scenes. Wild, right? But it doesn't stop there. TJ Miller, who played Weasel in the Deadpool movies, dropped a bombshell. He found Ryan so unbearable to work with that he flat out refused to return for Deadpool 3, no matter how much money they threw at him.
As if I'm Weasel.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So he was like, what's great about you, Weasel? You're not the star, but you just, you do just enough exposition that it's funny, and then we can leave and get back to the real movie.
So he's riffed.
The whole crew was acting.
TJ didn't just call Ryan difficult. He claimed Ryan actively tried to make him feel small on set. not as part of a joke, but in a way that felt personal and intentional. According to him, Ryan was insecure and needed to prove he was the bigger star, making the work environment so toxic that TJ vowed to never work with him again. That's a huge statement considering how massive the Deadpool franchise has become. Walking away from that level of success? TJ must have really had enough.
Theory is that Ryan Reynolds saw that scene in It Ends With Us, and it was
got jealous.
Trigger.
And it wasn't just actors who had issues with Ryan. Director Tim Miller, who helmed the first Deadpool movie, also bailed before the sequel. The reason? Ryan allegedly wanted total control over the franchise. Tim felt completely pushed out, claiming Ryan refused to share creative power. Rather than fight a losing battle, Tim walked away. With all these stories piling up, the question remains, has Ryan Reynolds been carefully curating his funny man image while secretly making power plays behind the scenes? This lines up perfectly with what people have been saying. When Ryan Reynolds is in charge, he's in charge. And if you don't fall in line, you might just find yourself replaced. The pattern is impossible to ignore. On screen and online, Ryan plays the charming, self-deprecating funny man, but behind closed doors, some claim he's controlling, insecure, and not nearly as friendly as he pretends to be.
There are some people who feel like he is the one who's driving all of this
He's
and
pulling
telling
the
Blake.
strings behind.
I don't think that seems very unfair to Blake Lively.
That's
to me,
pretty diabolical.
Of course, these are just stories from people who've worked with him, and there's no smoking gun. But the revolving door of actors, directors, and co-stars around his projects sure raises eyebrows. It paints a very different picture of who Ryan really is when the cameras aren't rolling. And these whispers don't just stop at his career, they bleed into his personal life too. Ryan was once married to Scarlett Johansson, and their breakup was anything but quiet. Their marriage publicly crumbled, and Scarlett later hinted that things between them had been far from perfect. She suggested that Ryan's insecurities played a huge role in their relationship problems, especially when her career started to skyrocket.
We weren't married very long, but we were married when I met you. When I first met you for Iron Man or whatever. Yeah, I was married.
We love a good Ryan Reynolds in our house.
When Scarlett landed major roles in Iron Man 2 and The Avengers, it became clear that apparently Ryan wasn't too happy about Scarlett's rising success. According to her, being married to someone who resented her achievements was exhausting. She hinted that Ryan struggled with seeing her land bigger roles, bigger paychecks, and way more attention in Hollywood. What started as a marriage soon turned into a competition, and the tension became unbearable. Scarlett described it as a situation where one partner couldn't handle the other's success, leading to jealousy and resentment. Eventually, their relationship collapsed. At the time, many fans blamed her for the breakup, assuming she had been the problem. But in more recent interviews, Scarlett has subtly suggested that Ryan's insecurities and controlling tendencies played a major role in why things fell apart. And here's where things get even messier. While still married to Scarlett, Ryan was rumored to be getting very close to Blake Lively on the set of Green Lantern. Could their romance have started before his divorce was final? Hollywood gossip says yes. Hollywood gossip swirled that Ryan and Blake's undeniable on-set chemistry was impossible to ignore. If Ryan was already unhappy in his marriage to Scarlett and secretly getting close to Blake, it would explain a lot about why he walked away so quickly. Some insiders even speculated that Ryan saw Blake as someone who made him feel in control again, which may have played a major role in the sudden split. And let's not forget, Blake Lively benefited massively from being linked to Ryan. Sure, she was already a recognizable name from Gossip Girl, but dating and later marrying a Hollywood A-lister instantly boosted her star power. Being with Ryan took her from TV fame to a household name on a whole new level. Meanwhile, even though Ryan has had major box office hits, especially with Deadpool, not everyone in Hollywood is a fan. Many directors and actors reportedly don't take him seriously, especially those who believe in real cinema. One of the loudest critics, Quentin Tarantino. Tarantino has made it clear he doesn't think much of Ryan's movies, dismissing them as forgettable and lacking any real depth. And that's not all. Tarantino has also been outspoken against making films for streaming platforms, something Ryan has leaned heavily into, especially with his big-budget Netflix deals. Could this be why Ryan isn't exactly beloved in serious film circles? Some believe he's built his empire on entertainment, not artistry. And not everyone respects that. From Quentin Tarantino's perspective, Ryan Reynolds is just another actor cashing in on big-budget projects, not a true artist. And Tarantino isn't the only Hollywood heavyweight who feels this way. Chris Columbus, the legendary director behind Home Alone, was furious when he heard about Ryan's attempt to make a stoner-themed reboot of the Christmas classic. The concept? A guy who grows weed, misses his flight, and then has to fend off burglars while high. Columbus didn't just shut it down, he publicly slammed the idea, calling it insulting to the legacy of Home Alone and an absolute joke compared to real cinema. His message to Ryan: go watch the original instead of trying to ruin it. And the shade doesn't stop there. Gerard Butler also threw some serious shots at Ryan when people compared Butler's film Gamer to Ryan's Free Guy. Both movies revolve around virtual reality, but when asked about the comparison, Butler dismissed it completely, saying he doesn't even watch Ryan Reynolds movies. The implication? Ryan's films aren't worth his time. When you look at all these major Hollywood names, Tarantino, Columbus, Butler, all showing zero respect for Ryan's work, it starts to paint a picture. It's clear that Ryan hasn't exactly won over certain directors and actors, especially those who value traditional cinema or have had personal run-ins with him. Now let's bring it all back to the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, and Ryan Reynolds scandal, because this drama is far from over. When Blake Lively accused Justin Baldoni of harassment, it sent shockwaves through Hollywood. But things took a wild turn when Justin hit back hard with a lawsuit, accusing both Blake and Ryan of trying to smear his name and manipulate the narrative. And here's where it gets even messier. Justin isn't the only one saying this. More industry insiders are stepping forward, claiming they believe Justin over Blake and Ryan. That alone suggests that this might not be the first time the couple has played this kind of game. There are whispers that Ryan and Blake have a history of stirring up drama, crafting the perfect victim narrative, and keeping the public on their side, no matter what. For years, they've been Hollywood's it couple, known for their playful social media jokes and flawless marriage. But now, the cracks in their perfect image are getting impossible to ignore. And with each passing day, the scandal only gets bigger. Then came their controversial appearance on Saturday Night Live's 50th anniversary special. People were stunned. Was this a desperate attempt to control the narrative surrounding the lawsuit and harassment claims? Ryan even joked about the legal battle, while Blake stood by his side, showing her support. But instead of damage control, it backfired. Many fans felt the whole thing was incredibly tone-deaf, given how serious the accusations against Justin were. Did Ryan and Blake just make things worse for themselves? Because at this point, the Hollywood gossip machine isn't slowing down anytime soon. The reaction was brutal. The SNL audience didn't laugh, and Justin Baldoni's own lawyer slammed the joke, questioning how anyone could find humor in something as serious as harassment allegations. Instead of clearing their names, Ryan and Blake's attempt at damage control only made them look more suspicious. Now, the big question on everyone's mind, have Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively been faking it all along? Were they always a carefully manufactured Hollywood power couple, using their charm and influence to stay on top, even if it meant stepping on others? Or is this all just a case of misunderstanding, with Ryan and Blake becoming easy targets for Hollywood gossip? At this point, it's impossible to say for sure. But what is clear? The allegations are stacking up. The couple can no longer just brush things off with a witty tweet or a viral joke. More and more insiders are coming forward with unsettling claims about Ryan's behavior and Blake's behind-the-scenes moves in Hollywood. Is this all just jealousy from people who can't stand to see them winning? Or are we finally seeing the cracks in their carefully polished image? One thing is for sure, Hollywood is watching closely, and Ryan and Blake have never faced scrutiny quite like this before. For many fans, the disappointment is real. If even half of these accusations are true, it means Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively haven't just been hiding secrets, they've been carefully crafting a public persona that might be completely fake. They've sold themselves as the funny, wholesome, effortlessly lovable couple, but behind closed doors, some insiders say they're anything but. And then there's Ryan's pattern of insecurity, something that more than one person, including his exes, has pointed out. If these claims are true, maybe his need for control has led to his fallouts with directors like Tim Miller, actors like T.J. Miller, co-stars like Morena Baccarin, and even close friends like Jake Gyllenhaal. Could his controlling nature have also played a major role in the downfall of his marriage to Scarlett Johansson? She didn't just say their relationship was difficult, she called it volatile, a word that carries serious weight. Then there's Blake. Up until now, she's been seen as the sweet, stylish, all-American girl, first rising to fame in Gossip Girl, and later making waves in movies like The Shallows and A Simple Favor. Fans have adored her fashion sense, her seemingly effortless charm, and the way she playfully teases Ryan online. But now, if Justin Baldoni's lawsuit has any truth to it, Blake may have been just as strategic as Ryan, working with him to twist narratives and keep their image spotless. Is the world finally seeing the real Ryan and Blake, or is this just another Hollywood witch hunt? Either way, the fairy tale is cracking, and people are starting to question everything. Blake's accusations against Justin Baldoni were serious, but some are now questioning if she used them as a weapon to gain leverage. If that's true, it completely shatters the image of Blake as the innocent, sweet starlet that fans once believed in. And with so many different angles to this story, one thing is certain: this is far from over. The next few weeks could be critical. If more celebrities step forward, it will either strengthen Justin's case or force Ryan and Blake to finally address the situation with more than just clever jokes and carefully crafted statements. If they can disprove Justin's lawsuit and clear their names, they might be able to repair their reputation. But if more evidence or testimonies come to light supporting his claims, it could mean the total collapse of Ryan and Blake's carefully built image, the one that made them Hollywood's perfect couple. This is the kind of scandal that shifts careers, sinking some and elevating others. Right now, fans are digging deep, rewatching old interviews and viral clips of Ryan and Blake, looking for signs they might have missed. People are analyzing Ryan's behavior in press junkets, paying closer attention to how Blake dodges tough questions, and even revisiting photos where co-stars seemed uncomfortable around them. The internet is buzzing with speculation about why certain actors were suddenly cut from press tours or sequels, and whether there was more going on behind the scenes than anyone realized. So what happens next? Only time will tell. Maybe in a few months, this will all blow over, and Ryan and Blake will still be playing the perfect couple, cracking jokes online and landing blockbuster roles. Or maybe this lawsuit and the flood of news stories will keep coming until they can no longer hide behind PR tactics and carefully controlled narratives. One thing's for sure, Hollywood is watching. People are glued to this scandal, watching closely for any new developments. And right now, things are looking messy. The more Ryan and Blake try to laugh it off or brush it aside with their usual charm, the more suspicious it all seems. Fans aren't falling for the distractions anymore. They want real answers, not just another round of witty quips on late-night TV or playful social media banter. At this point, the biggest takeaway is clear. Ryan and Blake may not be the picture-perfect sweethearts everyone thought they were. If they really have been pulling manipulative moves to stay on top, it might finally be catching up with them. And the worst part? More Hollywood insiders are hinting that they've seen it firsthand. While many have yet to speak publicly, the rumors are swirling that more people have stories to tell, ones that could completely change the way fans see this golden couple. If even a fraction of these whispers turn out to be true, we could be in for even bigger bombshells in the weeks ahead. And what about regular fans? Social media is divided. Some people claim they always had a feeling something was off, while others are completely shocked. Now people are digging through old interviews, searching for clues. Those awkward moments when Ryan or Blake seemed uncomfortable or irritated, Those weird instances when co-stars suddenly disappeared from projects without explanation. One thing that really stands out, the Deadpool drama. TJ Miller's exit remains one of the most blatant red flags. He didn't just leave, he flat out refused to return, no matter how much money was on the table. That's not something you see every day in Hollywood. And let's not forget, Tim Miller walking away from Deadpool was another red flag that many people ignored at the time. But now, it's starting to look like part of a much bigger pattern. As for Blake Lively, her role in this mess is still unfolding. She's managed to stay out of controversy for most of her career, but these harassment allegations and Justin Baldoni's lawsuit have put her in a completely different kind of spotlight. If more people come forward with negative experiences, it could shatter the perception of her as Hollywood's sweet, down-to-earth, fashion icon darling. But if no one else speaks out, Blake might be able to claim that Justin's accusations are completely false. Still, that $400 million lawsuit isn't going anywhere. And whether they like it or not, Ryan and Blake are going to have to answer for it. At the end of the day, one thing is crystal clear. Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively are no longer looking like Hollywood's golden couple. The cracks in their perfect image are fully exposed, and now, a flood of celebrities, insiders, and former colleagues are stepping up to share their own stories. Their SNL stunt? A total backfire. Instead of controlling the narrative, they've only made people more suspicious. Fans are asking tough questions, and big names in Hollywood are confirming the rumors that Ryan can be rude, controlling, and insecure, and that Blake might not be so innocent in all of this either. So, what do you think? Is this all just Hollywood gossip, or are we finally seeing the real Ryan and Blake? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more wild celebrity deep dives, and I'll see you in the next one.